All right, 7th graders, this is to help you with question 4 on CR 16. It says find 60% of 50. All right, as 6th graders, oops, sorry about that. As 6th graders, my guess is you probably used a tape diagram. And you had your total of 50. And you wanted to find 60% of that. Well, to find 60% of that, you probably broke it down into 10 parts, each part representing 10%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These really should be equal rectangles. I just didn't do a great job at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so this first would represent your first 10%. Then the first 2 boxes together get you up to 20%. First 3 boxes get you up to 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%. And then you'd be up to a total of 100%. Right here you'd be at 0%. Okay. So you could take 50, now that we've broken it into 10 parts, and just take 50, divide it by 10. 50 divided by 10 is 5. That means every 10% of 50 is 5. And then you'd fill in your tape diagram, and then you'd say, okay, I care about 60% of it, so I care about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. And so you'd say 6 times 5 is 30. So 60% of 50, you'd come out to be 30. Well, that seems reasonable because 50% of 50 would be half of 50. That's 25. So 60% being 30 seems reasonable. Now let me talk to you about the 7th grade method. You'll probably be using the percent equation in 7th grade. So for the percent equation, it's part equals percent times your total. So if you're looking for your part, you would do 60% of, in mathematics, means to multiply, times your total of 50. Now here's the only kicker with the percent equation. You can't leave your percent as a percentage. You have to rewrite it as either a decimal or a fraction. So 60% as a decimal is 0.6 or 0.60. So you could take 0.6 times 50. So then you would do 50 times 0.6. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 5 is 30. Move that decimal point over one place, and you will come up with 30. The same way I did in my tape diagram. This method would be rewriting your percent as a decimal. Or I could have taken 60% and written it as a fraction. I'll show you that over here. 60% would be 60 out of 100. That would get me to, if I divide top and bottom by 10, 6/10. I could even then divide top and bottom here by 2 and get 3/5. And trust me, if you took 3/5 times 50, 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 50 10 times, straight across the top, straight across the bottom. Any way you go about this problem, you actually come up with 30 as 60% of 50. I know that's lots of methods. Hopefully either the tape diagram was enough of a reminder, or maybe, oops, as 6th graders, maybe you even used the percent equation a little bit. All right, I hope that helps.